policing and racist violence. Inaction is violence. Slow, incremental reform is violence. Politicians and would-be politicians who say that we need the police more than we need each other, that's a violent and a willful ignorance, and a failure of imagination and a failure of courage. Today is about Yvonne, but I also want to say about Talana that she's repeatedly shown the imagination and courage that's going to be required of her as a policymaker and required of me to give power to people of color, people with disabilities, and other targets, because the police will never be fully trained out of white supremacy, because the institution of policing is structurally racist, classist, and ableist, and it cannot be reformed, it must be abolished. And also, reforms can be way stations on the road to abolition. Demand community control of the police. Demand reinvestment of bloated OPD dollars in services that actually benefit the community. Demand a fund for BIPOC victims of crime. Demand reparations. Demand justice for every victim of racism and police violence. And demand justice for Yvonne McDonald. Solidarity.
Guts to stand up for what's right. I haven't done anything to anybody. It's not like I killed their loved one. I didn't kill their loved one. I didn't call their mom any names. I didn't say that their family was the most difficult family they've ever had to deal with, ever, because we're demanding justice. Because I'm out here peacefully asking to speak to my elected officials, to the people. I'm a taxpayer. My kids go to school here. My kids are graduate. I mean, I'm a part of this community, and my family's been deemed by the police chief to be the most difficult family he's ever had to work with. That's really sad. But I want Miguel to do me a favor and give me a phone number. Can you announce a phone number? And I want people to put this phone number in their phones. Can you just pull your phones out? I'm gonna do it.
Yes. Well, if anybody's interested in calling Jay Burney, I've had a few phone conversations.
And it doesn't have to be just today, it can be every day.
Oh yeah. No, I make sure I have a list of people who I deem as fascists or like bad people. I like to start off my day calling one of the people that I hate and being like, hey, you were a failure to society and you need to resign. Ed Troyer, the sheriff of Pierce County, is on the list now. But let's talk about Jay Burney, because his number, if you'd like to give him a call, is 360-239-7331. That's 360-239-7331. I called him after a demonstration in August where I was arrested as a member of the press falsely, and at a later demonstration, I had members of OPD tell me they're going to go after me regardless if I have a press pass. And wow, Jay Burney is one of the most just disrespectful executives you'll ever find in a city. I mean, the guy was a jerk to me. He told me I was being a little jerk and hurting his feelings.
Right now, I have some friends here with me and a couple family members, and we were just curious about how the investigation's going with my aunt. Okay, what are you working through? Because in an email recently, that the last email that you had with me, you said that the investigator had already spoken to my mom and her two sisters, and that you had the report and the notes from it, and that wasn't true.
Well, I'm not gonna get into it, but I think if we hear on the phone, it doesn't work for either one of us.
No, it doesn't work for you. But I mean, if you said that you had have the report back, and it was absolutely 100% untrue that the investigator or your attorney had spoken with my mom or any of the sisters, because my mom's daughter, and she asked me what was going on because she hadn't heard anything. And then just a few weeks ago, the woman contacted my mom via email and asked if my mom could meet with her. This is after the death of her other sister, but asked if she would be willing to meet up the following week, like Tuesday of that following week. My mom said, of course, absolutely. My mom hasn't heard a word back. What's going on?
I talked to him. He says that communication has been actually done
Okay, but I need you to know that this. Real quickly, I need you to know that, Jay, that I'm telling you, I don't know why you don't believe me, but but you spent $50,000 of you're spending $50,000 of taxpayer money to somebody who you know is not telling you the truth. Because I'm telling you, she has not communicated with my mother. No, I didn't say that. I told you she emailed my mother. She's not talked to my mom on the phone. Don't get it twisted. Never has she had a verbal. I'm clarifying for you because I don't want you to put words in my mouth. She emailed my mother. A few weeks ago. And I don't have the exact date, but I can surely call you back with it. I can pull up my email because my mom CC'd me. My mom has emailed and responded back the information she was asked. And that was would she be available the following week to speak with this person? And has not heard a word back. So that's what's gone on. So you need to use that, but as she's not doing her job that you contracted her to do, right?
I will talk to her about that.
No, you did. Okay. You talked to my Aunt Debbie too? Huh? Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Her name is Sharon. Yvonne has 2 remaining sisters. Don't be disrespectful, please. And I call her Debbie, and I refer to her as Debbie. The same person. Same person, Sharon. Yes. I don't feel like you haven't given her an update on this investigation. But what I do know you've done though is that you've convinced her that my mom and I are the problem, and that you.